We'll go ahead and call the September 22nd, 2016 regular meeting of the County Board of Education to order. As Dr. Lee said, we have Mr. Johnson joining us on the phone today. First of all, I'm going to take NJROTC Cadets Commander Kevin Martinez and Lieutenant Commander Deanna Ortiz for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right. Detail. Up. Right. Face. Present. Arms. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Right. Face. Forward. March. Left. 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 Right. Left. 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 Right.
Ms. Clayton, can you introduce our guest for the invocation today, please?
Thank you. I am honored tonight to introduce my pastor, Reverend Ed Ayers from First Presbyterian Church. We've tried to get him here several times, but I have to tell you that Reverend Ayers is not only our pastor, but he is our organist and our choir director. And he's a talented musician, so he's a busy man. So, Reverend Ayers, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Privileged to be here, and let me ask you to join me in prayer. Loving and gracious God, creator of all and giver of every good and perfect gift, at the heart of our prayer tonight is thanksgiving and gratitude. I thank you for the men and women of this school board and the entirety of the Coffee County educational system. We thank you for the successes which have resulted from their efforts for children and teenagers of this area, who are now grown to adulthood and have, as a result of sound education and committed educators, are now contributors to the good of our society. We thank you for administrators, teachers, staff members, for volunteers, and for all who play such a significant role in the education process. And in particular, oh God, we're grateful for all those who understand that striving for mediocrity is not the goal. Indeed, when it comes to educating and influencing the precious lives of our children and young people, mediocrity is no goal at all. Therefore, we humbly but sincerely ask that you bless abundantly this board in particular. Help them to continue to seek your wisdom, guidance, courage, and strength. Be with them in their discussions, their deliberations, and decisions, that they may focus on the good of all those who place trust and confidence in them as leaders. Keep them from short-sightedness, pettiness, and self-interest. But rather, Lord, help them to make decisions that are for the good of all. And dear Lord, grant them and grant us all the humility to always seek with greater wisdom, so that the benefits of their dedicated labor will reap benefits far beyond Douglas and Coffee County. We would even be so bold as to ask your blessing upon their work in ways which would be for the greater good of all humanity for decades to come. Thank you for hearing us, and thank you for blessing them and the precious gift of the children and young people in their care. Creating God, wise God, loving God, understanding God, to you be all glory, now and always, through Jesus Christ and your Holy Spirit, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you very much. The agenda, we need to move the consent agenda up to number 5 and personnel recommendations number 6. We have a motion to amend the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? So what you've got ahead of you is the agenda's been changed. We have a motion to adopt the agenda with those changes. As reflected on the screen.
Yes, so moved.
Second. All in favor?
Right.
All right, Dr. Lisa.
All right, on the consent agenda, you will find the minutes from last month's meeting. We have our financial reports also on the consent agenda. Our month-ending fund balance on our financial report is $6,306,474.59. So it's one of the better fund balances as far as the fiscal health of the district that we've had in many years. So I want to thank all of our staff, all of our faculty, staff, everybody involved with managing our schools, our school board, everyone for helping put our school district back on a solid financial footing. So it's a good financial report. Out-of-state travel. We have several out-of-state travel requests. The JROTC group has multiple competitions that they'll be going to. Our art class from Coffee Middle School and George Washington Carver will be going to Jacksonville to visit the Museum of Art. And then also we have our ag science students who will be going to an FFA competition in Indianapolis, Indiana. So out-of-state travel is on the consent agenda. The Coffee County Board of Education annual training plan. We have to have a training plan approved by the board and submitted to the State Department of Education each year. And as you will see, our training plan allows our board members to exceed the number of hours that are required as we move through this training plan. GSBA exemplary board application. We need the board's approval to submit an application for exemplary board to the Georgia School Board Association. We will be submitting that application next week before October 1 is the deadline. So with this approval, we will be submitting an application for exemplary board. And then surplus property. The board has reviewed at last month's meeting. We presented this information about the property out at Ambrose Elementary School. We have an old gymnasium serving as a warehouse that's full of old chairs and tables and old school-related furniture that we are going to sell to the public. We will advertise in the next couple of weeks a sale that we will have at the Ambrose Elementary School site. So we will be advertising for that in the future with approval of this surplus property tonight. Last, we have policies that will be put on the table for review for the next 30 days with the board's approval of this consent agenda. Policy GAE, it deals with complaints and grievances of certified employees. And that will be for public review over the next 30 days. That's the consent agenda for tonight's meeting.
Explain real quick what the consent agenda is and why we do it.
The consent agenda are the items that have been discussed at the work session, last month's work session, or the work session that we had prior to this meeting. But we've discussed these items in length in a work session, and the board approved, after discussing the items at the work session, to place these on the consent agenda for a formal board approval. So these items have been discussed, some of them multiple times by the board, and the board has decided that they will approve these items. Therefore, we put them all together on the consent agenda to approve them in one vote instead of having a separate vote on each item.
We have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second. Second. All in favor?
Personnel recommendations. The board was provided a personnel list tonight, and it was discussed at our work session. And also the board was provided a substitute teacher list, and superintendent is recommending approval of both the personnel recommendations list and the substitute teacher recommendation list.
So move.
Second. Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Jowers. All in favor of the personnel recommendations and substitute teacher list as presented?
All right, and that is much of our business for tonight, and we will move forward with our recognition. And this falls under our purpose and recognition, our purpose and direction. Our purpose is our mission, destination graduation for college, career, and life, and our vision is an equitable and excellent education for all of our students. And Reverend, noticed that you pointed out excellence and talked about that earlier, and appreciate your message and inspiration and prayer here tonight for our board and for our young people. And excellence is certainly something we want to strive for every day. Special recognition tonight, we have Ms. Kim Clayton, who's going to present our new teacher incentive program.
Thank you, Dr. Lace and board members. I am just thrilled to introduce this new award in our school system. It's something that I've wanted to do for many, many years. If you recall the Sally Mae First Year Teacher Award that we had that recognized a first-year teacher, this is similar to that. I think at a time when school districts across Georgia and across the nation are experiencing shortages with teachers and folks aren't going into education as they used to, this is a wonderful way to recognize these 4 young ladies who chose to go into education. I think it's a time for us to step up retention and how we retain folks in our school district, and I think there's no better way to retain folks than to appreciate them and tell them they are doing a good job and that their hard work is for naught. And we do appreciate all of the work you are doing. And they will always be remembered as the first group that was recognized for our new Teacher Incentive Award. Before I introduce our honorees to you, I would like to give a brief overview of the process that was used for this selection. Our curriculum department and myself worked together to create the nomination process and requirements. These teachers, the teachers that were nominated had to be fully certified and have 3 years or less teaching experience during the 2015-16 school year. A letter of nomination from the principal was submitted highlighting the nominees' outstanding instructional skills, exceptional interaction with students, colleagues, parents, and others, and have a proven record of helping above and beyond other beginning teachers. The nominees, also their TEKS summative assessment was reviewed, as well as student growth. Once received, the nominees were scored, and tonight I'm happy to introduce our first group of new Teacher Incentive Award winners. And in addition to their recognition tonight, they will receive a $500 stipend. Didn't know if you all knew that. That is funded through Title IIA, and Title IIA is the federal program that helps us with recruitment and retention. I want to congratulate all of you. I'm so proud of you, just as our school board is and our school system. And I know and hope that you'll serve as ambassadors for education and recruit your students and others to go into the education field. Where would our country be without teachers? And I think about that every day when I listen to the news. Where would we all be without teachers? So we appreciate all of our teachers, and especially these young ladies tonight. So Dr. Lisa, if you'd like to come up and help me give out these awards, and I'll tell you just a little bit about these ladies. First, we have Jennifer Busby. And I wanted, before we give them her certificate, I want to tell you what else they're going to get this evening. I just wanted to get them a little token in addition to the certificate of our appreciation. And I found these stars that you can put on your desk, and it says, to Jennifer Busby, Eastside Elementary School First Annual New Teacher Incentive Award, Coffee County Schools 2015-16, you are a shining star. So I hope you'll always remember. And Jennifer teaches at Eastside Elementary School. She's a second grade teacher. She graduated from Western Governors. She actually started with us as a paraprofessional at Westside Elementary and decided she wanted to be a teacher, and we're so glad that she did. Congratulations.
Does she want to stand up here?
You can run to wait and stand
Yeah,
forward.
we need to get a picture.
Also from Eastside Elementary, Jenny Ray Register. Jenny Ray graduated from Georgia Southern in 2012 with her bachelor's degree in early childhood, and she joined us in 2014. And she's currently a first grade teacher at Eastside Elementary School. Congratulations. From Coffee Middle School, Ashley Croft. Ashley's a graduate of Valdosta State in 2014, and she currently teaches 6th grade language arts at Coffee Middle School. And from Coffee High School, Holly Davis. Holly graduated from Berry College with a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, and she joined our system in 2014. We have two of our administrators with us tonight. Ms. Denise Banks, our Assistant Principal for Instruction from Eastside, and of course Ms. Sherry Berry from Coffee Middle. Ladies, do y'all have anything you'd like to add with the selection of your teachers?
We're just super proud of the fantastic job they do, especially proud of Ms. Croft from Coffee Middle School, not only in the classroom, but she also serves as a cheer coach, so she's doing the above and beyond that you mentioned earlier.
Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you all. All right, well, congratulations once again, and thank you for your hard work and your dedication to the field of education. We certainly appreciate you. At this time, I have no reason to move to an executive session. Do we have any board member comments for tonight?
I don't know, I said Happy New Year last time, it kind of went everybody's head, so welcome back to school. Now we're 7 weeks into it. Do you mind if I mention we'll wait. On the tab.
Yes.
Good DJ.
You go ahead.
I was just gonna kind of piggyback on what he said about being 7 weeks in, and, you know, we're 7 weeks into this school year, we've had very few problems, and I think that just kind of speaks to the exceptional preparation that our staff and our administration does, you know, to get us to this point. You know, I for one, as a parent and a board member, you know, very appreciative of that. You know, we looked over our financials for the 2015-16 year, and, you know, we came in with a substantial improvement from where we've been, which is going to be needed because of a lot of things that we've got coming up in the future that are going to cost. But I think we've put ourselves in a position to be able to try to handle some of that. So I appreciate Mike and his staff for, you know, kind of keeping us in line and keeping us where we need to be. I'd like to say I appreciate, you know, some of the dedication that this board goes to. You know, Mr. Jowers just left out. He's been under the weather, but he managed to make it down here for 3 hours so that we could get our votes done and get our business approved and all. And he came down here and stuck it out so we could get that accomplished. Mr. Johnson's on the phone from the hospital. He's been dealing with some health issues, but yet still manages to phone in and participate in meetings so that we can get things done that we need to do to keep this system moving throughout the year. So I appreciate the dedication from everybody. You know, just making a point to get here and get it done. But all I got.
Thank you. As it's been pointed out, we are completing week 6 of the school year, moving into week 7. It's been a fantastic start. Our principals, our teachers, our bus drivers, secretaries, paraprofessionals, custodians, school nutrition staff, central office staff, everybody involved has done a great job in making sure we're prepared. I want to give Ms. Clayton a thank you from the personnel side. I know you go through a lot of work in preparing and making sure we have all the positions filled and everybody in the right place, and that's a big part of managing the budget too. I know Mr. Drabush and the finance department does a big part of that, but personnel is 88% of our expense, so it takes everybody. Dr. Banks, thank you for what you do with operations and making sure everything's running efficiently like it should. And so we've got a great team. Our principals that are here, Miss Berry does a fantastic job. And I don't want to single out, she's our only principal here tonight, Ms. Banks representing Eastside Left, but I want to say thank you to all of our principals. They do a fantastic job. They know what to do, when to do it. They operate the schools the way they need to operate. And our staff in general, our teachers, they know what to do. They're doing the right work. We're really blessed in Coffee County to have a good school system that's heading in the right direction. So I'm just proud to be a part of it, humbled to be here with you all working tonight and helping to advance the Coffee County school system. So thank you for what you do. We've got a great team, and Coffee County is brewing stronger than ever, I believe. So at this time, I do want to announce that we will have the bids for the new Nichols School will be due at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, October 4th. Bids are currently out for that project at 2 o'clock. On October 4th, the Nichols School bids will be due. The board will have a called meeting October 5th at 12 noon. So we will meet board members here at the Board of Education on 12 noon, October 5th, for a called meeting. So I want to make sure we talk about that day. You can get that in your calendar to be prepared for that meeting. We are planning to have the groundbreaking ceremony for the new Nichols Elementary School on October 12th. That's Wednesday, October 12th at 9:30 at Nichols Elementary School. So we will have groundbreaking 1 week after the board accepts the bid at 9:30. I do want to thank our staff that helped prepare earlier this week. We hosted a coffee pot meeting for charter school systems across the state, and we had representatives that came to Coffee County to learn about what we're doing here in Coffee County. We had the superintendent from Candler County came, superintendent from Vidalia City came. We even had the superintendent from Carrollton City that drove all the way down to visit with us here in Coffee County and to learn more about being a charter system and about some of our initiatives that we've got going on here in Coffee County. We also had about 6 administrators from Dublin City School. They came, their high school principal, their middle school principal, some of their central office staff came, as well as central office staff from Liberty County were in attendance. So we had school districts from north, south, east, and west in the state that came to Coffee County this past Monday to learn more about what we're doing and for us to share ideas with all of those other school systems. So we had a good session sharing ideas about what's going on in all of our schools. And it was a good opportunity for us to pick their brains also and learn more about what those people are doing in their school systems. So it was a real productive meeting. 2 weeks prior to that, I had an opportunity to attend the Georgia Educational Leaders Institute. I was asked to be part of a panel discussion, and I was able to present and talk with principals and other educational leaders from across the state as part of a discussion, which I was one of the facilitators, and I was honored to be on the stage with the Pike County Superintendent and the Madison County Superintendent, and we shared what we're doing here in Coffee County and those counties with educational leaders from across the state at that session also. So it's great to be part of a team in which people want to come learn about what we're doing. And our teachers here, our new teachers, I want to thank you for what you're doing in helping Coffee County shine and helping our young people get a quality education and helping us reach for excellence for them. So thank you. Those are all my comments, and I just want to thank the board for tonight.
All right, is there anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor? We're adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you.